Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be what I picked up from HMV, CEX and also the Arrow video store. But first I've got an unboxing for you. So just received this package from my good friend Phil 4K Baker. I'll leave a link down to his Instagram account down below. And Phil got in touch with me and said, would I like to buy some further Vinegar Syndrome releases? And I said, yes, please. Now, he's given me a great price on these movies. And I just want to thank Phil once again for doing that. He's sent a special delivery, so he's kept me updated throughout the day to where this package is and when it's going to be delivered. So I want to thank him once again for the opportunity and also the great service that he's provided for me. I can't wait to see these items in the flesh. Nurse, scalpel, thank you very much. So, as you know, at this moment, I really am on a Vinegar Syndrome kick. Look at that. That is just packing. Wow. Phil, you're a legend. First up is Scared to Death. Wow. The cover, man. Honestly. Victims of the killer's kiss, they were scared to death. Now, I could be wrong, but I thought Arrow had released this movie because it sounded very familiar, the actual title. What I'll do is I'll just show you these, and I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to open them up, have a look at them, and I'll come back and I'll talk more about what I think of them. And also, I will tell you, I will show you what's in the alternative art and all that type of thing. And so that's the first one, that's Scared to Death. Next up is Creature. Now, I'm pretty positive, but I need to check this out. I'm sure that this is a movie called Titan Find. Now, I remember this come out around about 85, if this is Titan Find, which I'm sure it is. But this slipcover is just, well, they're all phenomenal. I can't say anything more than that. It says, it's been sleeping peacefully on a moon of Saturn for 2,000 centuries until now. Wow. Well, these are all embossed, as you would imagine from Vinegar Syndrome, all in absolutely perfect condition as well. So that's Creature. Next up is Steel and Lace. Just the slip covers, they're just sensational. They really are. I can't big up them enough. Can't wait to check these out. The best thing about Vinegar Syndrome is that they bring these movies out, obviously fully uncut, and you kind of heard of them, or maybe some of them you haven't heard of like this, but you've got every idea that you might, on an exploitational level, think that there might be something really worth watching, and there could be something that could be absolutely fantastic. You would never know, but really interested to see all of these movies. So that's Steel and Lace. Wow. Next up is Trauma. This is very much high on my list of purchases when I heard this was coming out. These are all Blu Rays, by the way. But this movie is considered to be, I heard, well, before I watched it actually on DVD, I heard it was one of the worst Dario Argento's. This was when he was kind of coming towards the end of his golden period. And I thought it was quite a good movie, actually. I had a really good time with it, and I didn't understand why anybody had a bad thing to say about it. And I can't wait to see it, because I can't remember at all what the DVD looked like. I think it was quite, poor in a way. But this, obviously, the best thing about Vinegar Syndrome is they do everything in the house. They do their own remastering, can't even say it, and you know that you're going to get something special about that. So can't wait to see this one. So that's Trauma. And last up and not by no means least is Ebola Syndrome. This is the 4K of Ebola Syndrome. Wow, look, this cover is just absolutely incredible. This is a really over the top movie. It's got loads of stuff going on, tons of gore, tons of sort of sickness, and it's just it's so grotesque and over the top. It's great. So yes, so I want to thank Phil once again for giving me the opportunity to own these ones in perfect condition, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down now, I'm going to go through them, have a bit of a mooch with them. I'll come back and I'll show you what's inside them and what I think of the transfers. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you my thoughts on what I thought of the picture quality on those Vinegar Syndrome titles. So thanks once again, Phil. Honestly, can't thank you enough, mate. Okay, so first of all, from CX, I got for £3 Pet. Now, when I got a movie recently, I was checking out some trailers. I don't really go in for trailers, I don't check them out that much, but they come on and I just looked at one and the trailer for this was on. I thought, that sounds like quite a good premise about this bloke who picks up this girl and keeps her in a sort of cage. So the story on this seems to be that this guy here, bit of a sort of psycho, he picks up this girl here and keeps her in a cage as a pet. Now, that's a movie that you've probably seen 1,000 times, but I think in this movie, and I don't think this is a spoiler because I think this is part of the movie, I think that she works out a way to sort of get out of this cage, or try and get out of this cage, but she plays him like a fool, I believe. And I was interested when I saw that on this trailer. I thought, that's a good little spin on this. So this movie does star Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings, and yeah, quite an interesting take on this sort of genre of people being kept captive. So yeah, so that's Pet. So next up is a set I've been after for quite a while, and every time I see it I think, well, I'll get it next time, I'll get it next time. I just never get around to it. So I saw this in CX, so for £12 I bought the Stallone collection, which has Cobra, Assassins, Tango and Cash, The Specialist and Demolition Man. Now, I'm banging to Sylvester Stallone at the minute. You get all the movies come on separate discs as well. Some of them get special features on, some of them don't. I think, for instance, the only one I've actually got is Tango and Cash on there. I've got that on disc, and it comes in exactly the same. I think it's exactly the same version that was in there, although they're putting these sort of box sets there and they're housed that way. The discs are separate, and this set and the discs are in absolutely mint condition. So these are all movies that I've seen in the past. I've seen all of these movies and I enjoyed them all. The one that was really after in this set was Cobra. That was the one I wanted to see. I remember seeing this, and usually when you saw these ones back in the day with Sylvester Stallone, you were kind of like, wow, that's a little bit cheesy to say the least. But you know, to be honest, at this point, I think that 80s cheese is very watchable, and the cheesier the better for me. So I know that I think, is it The Specialist or Assassins is a remake of a Charles Bronson movie. Demolition Man has got, that's quite a good movie. And I checked Cobra out, and also I checked out Tango and Cash. Now Tango and Cash looks really good. That's a brilliant movie. That's probably my favourite in here. That's my most watchable one. It's such a good movie, and I think they should have definitely done a sequel to it. But Cobra for me is the one I'm going to check out first, because that's the one I'm quite interested in to see if it's as cheesy as I think it is, because this is from Cobra. Is he called Marion Cobretti? And he's got the nickname of Cobra. His gun's got a cobra on the handle. So anyway, so yes, finally glad to track that down. I will be watching all of these because I'm a big fan of these movies in general. And great to see this in great condition for £12. So that's the Stallone collection. Next up in the 2 for £15 indicator sale from HMV, I got 20 Million Miles to Earth. Now, this is the movie I've been after for ages. I love this one. I used to see it on the TV. But I couldn't remember what the name was, and it doesn't really give anything away to this sort of storyline by that movie. It's got one of them generic titles. It could be any film, couldn't it? Also, it's saying Terror from Outer Space. I actually glancingly thought that was the movie was called, and I didn't know what the movie I wanted to see was actually called. It is 20 Million Miles to Earth. Now, what happens, the best thing about this movie, what I remember, was that this alien comes down and looks like a little friendly lizard, but grows up. It kind of grows at an alarming rate and turns into, well, something like that. So this movie's got two cuts of the movie on. It's got the movie, and it's also got a colorized version of the movie. Now I put this movie on, and the black and white looks good. It doesn't look great, it's got some grain in it, but it looks okay. Now the colorized version, sometimes you get these colorized versions like you get from Plan 9 from Outer Space, which looks sensational in colorized color. But some look really, they look really false. Now this looks a little bit false in the colorization. I will watch the black and white version, but the Planning from Outer Space, if they ever colorized movies like that, they would all look great, which I don't agree with false colorizations, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so really intrigued to see this one, and this was one of the ones I used to watch maybe on a Saturday morning on BBC Two. They used to have loads of these movies on, and I highly recommend this movie because it was absolutely brilliant when I watched it. I think I would still get a kick out of it. So that's 20 million miles to Earth. So because it was a 2 for £15 sale, I had to get another movie, and I picked up First Men in the Moon. Now I read the synopsis on the back and I thought, yeah, that sounds alright, I think I'll give that a shot. I wanted to get two movies in the same ilk, and to be honest, when I put this on, I was expecting that one to look quite, average, and this one here is actually in colour, and I was expecting this to look quite, average, but it looks sensational. Now, what it looks like, and it's not, it looks like a Hammer movie. It's got that Hammer colour, it's got like the Hammer actors in it, and sort of like that. It just really, you could have said this was a Hammer movie and I wouldn't have blinked an eye. So this one here, it's went from one that I thought, well, I'll pick it up and watch it eventually. It's one of these quite intriguing ones that makes me think, yeah, I'll have to put that up the list, the massive list. And this actually, it's a 4K restoration, so and it does look like a 4K restoration. In fact, when I had it on my 4K player, it's got one of those ones where you could have cheated someone and says, I've got this 4K here, and they probably would have says, oh yeah, it does look like a 4K. And the fact that this movie does take place in the moon is another great sort of twist on it as well. I don't think I've seen any movies that are shot inside the moon. So there you go. So that's First Men in the Moon. So lastly, from the Arrow store, I got Death Screams. Now, I saw this online. I was looking through because I had some points and I thought I'd go and spend some points on there. And I saw that this limited slipcase version was there, and I thought this was long out of print. This one is only actually available from Arrow, the Arrow website. So I'll put that up there and you can have a look at that. It does say on here, because that's the first thing I looked at when I saw it, I thought it said it was like the elements aren't the proper elements, there's like some elements. So you think, oh dear, is this going to look a little bit ropey? Not that I really mind so much, but that covers, I wouldn't say that's the best cover, but I like the way that it wraps around, so it redeems itself on the flip. And like I say, you can only get this limited edition slipcover from, and you get, that's a very intriguing looking movie there. And you get this great booklet in as well. It's got a few pictures that I can't really show, but there's other ones. I don't know if there's a bit spoilery in it. So it did say that this is going to be a lower quality. So I was expecting some, well, not too much actually when I put it on. But I've got to say that the quality on it isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. In fact, I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, it's just very clean. It's got the colours in it are good. The sharpness isn't particularly good, but in essence, it's a much better presentation than I thought it was going to be. And plus, you get this amazing slip with it. That's what I was really after. I wanted to get this slip cover. It's got embossing there, which is great. Embossing on the side as well. So, and also it doesn't have that big cutout, which I'm a big fan of that. I don't know why, I just don't like them little bits. Obviously the tags are the thing that's going to go. Also this is embossed as well. Now the thing about this movie, actually when I put it on, it does have a segment of the movie, it's filmed inside a fairground. I'm a big fan of them type of movies, especially in horror movies, just kind of get enough of them. So that's put that up the level a little bit, so I want to check that out for the fact of seeing something in a fairground, which is one of my favourite things in movies in general, actually, when I think about it. That and ships sinking. So I'll use my Arrow points on this, and I got this for £10, so I'm happy with that. So that's Death Screams. And lastly, let's go through these Vinegar Syndrome titles. So first up is Steel and Lace. Now I've taken the protective covers that Phil's put on here off these ones, just so I can show you how absolutely gorgeous they are. I'm going to get that in the light if I can. Now I've actually watched this one. This is the first one I watched. It's the only one I've watched thus far. But I knew how to get it to watch it. And the reason why I did that was because I realised, I sussed out, I didn't see it at first, that this person here is a cyborg. Now I'll not go too much into this movie, but I thought I just love cyborgs as well, so I thought I've got to get that. And to go through these again, I mean, you've never seen a slipcovers, then you've seen the Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers. they're just a thing of beauty. And this one is just, it stands out on the shelf. It's just amazing. And there's the reversible art. These do all have reversible art, like Thriller does as well, which I forgot to mention that when Phil sent over Thriller. It does have the original art, or the box art on there as well. But Phil has swapped these all around. So these are the alternative arts. So I'll put that up there and have a little look at that. You can read what synopsis is in here. I didn't know anything about this movie, never heard of it at all. It's got David Norton in from American Werewolf in London. It's also got a few other actors in, quite well-known actors. It's actually got the kid from The Burning, the sort of the male protagonist in The Burning. He's there, and I was like, wow, is it protagonist or the other one? Well, the main kid in The Burning anyway. But this movie, it was such a good movie and very gory. Now, this one's Region A locked. And I tried this on my play, and it definitely is Region A locked, so bear that in mind if you ever want to go and get this one. But I highly recommend this movie. I had such a great time with it. I'll talk more about it when I'm talking about the movies I've watched in February. So that's first up is Steel and Lace. Amazing cover. So next up is Creature. Now I'm pretty sure this is called Titan Find as well. And what it's got in here, it's got this version of the movie, which is... It has got Titan Find on here, and it's got it as a kind of work print. Now this is meant to be the full and cut version. I'm going to put it on. It looks really, it's just basically think of Alien. That's this movie. I think it came out around about the same time. I can't see the date on here, but this is region locked as well to Region A. And sometimes it does say that, and you can't play it in a normal player, but it definitely is region locked. Scan, yes, a 4K scan, so you can really tell a 4K scan. That's a 2K scan on that one. But this one looks sensational. And as a movie, I saw Titan Find. I'm pretty sure I should say it in the video library all the time. Lovely bit of spot gloss in there. But I never ever watched it. I never ever got it out. But it was a movie that I remember the title of quite well. But I never actually got around to seeing it. And yeah, I mean these are all embossed. It's just crazy. The lengths that go to on these slips. I could just go slip and just talk about them all the time, but just incredible. If you're a collector, these things are just the zenith of collecting for me. Next up is Scared to Death. Now I always thought I'd seen this movie in Boston. Yeah, beautiful spot glossing as well. Amazing. Back's a little bit graphic, but this here, actually that does wrap around, doesn't it, the legs? And when I was watching it, this has got a 4K scan in it as well. So, you know, they go above and beyond on the transfers as well. So think of Vinegar Syndrome, the company, being a company that does do a lot of remaster work as well. They're kind of known for that, as well as these amazing slipcovers. So this one here has got 2 discs in it. Now I think the movie has, the one disc has the movie on. This is region 3, by the way. You can play this in anything. Has the movie there, and it has all the special features on there. So another great, amazing presentation of a movie done in the Vinegar Syndrome way with region 3. So this is the one you can pick up and you can put in your player, no problem. Don't know really too much about this movie at all, but these movies, they do speak to me. I do like this type of low budget horror movie. Another beautiful presentation. That's Scared to Death. Next up is Trauma. Now what I did was, I have got this on DVD, and I got my DVD out just to see what it looked like, and actually the DVD looks pretty good. I was quite surprised at how good it was. So I thought this one should look even better, and oh, does it not. So there you go, Trauma 1993. And this one here, I put it on. Obviously it's region 3 as well, so it's not locked for you. There's a synopsis on the back. And this is, with this being in 1993, it could be classed as out of the period of Dario Argento's good work, shall we say. But if I'm honest, I do quite like this movie. I have liked it, and I know that a lot of people said it's not that good. But I find it to be quite a really decent Dario Argento movie. It's got a great cast in here. I think Piper Laurie is in it. Yes, Piper Laurie. Obviously you've got Dario Argento as well. And in Boston, you know, standard. Lovely. I like the simplistic back of that. Just so the picture quality in here was sensational. It was absolutely brilliant. The DVD, like I say, if you can't find this movie, you do find it cheap on a DVD. I think it was in Optimum. It's good. Don't get us wrong. It's not the greatest movie of Dario Argento, but certainly is quite a good watch. So as always, Vinegar Syndrome have done an absolutely brilliant version on here, as they've done with all of these titles. I can't big up them enough. They tick every box for me. So that's Trauma. So last up, and not least, is Ebola Syndrome. This movie is, I've seen this movie before. It's a Category 3 movie, and it is mad. It's, and I put it on. I thought, right, I haven't watched this for a long time, even though I've got the 88 Blu Ray, which is quite good. So I thought I was able to check it out against the 88 Blu Ray, which is round about there, I think. And this is region free as well. You get a nice booklet with it as well, which is quite unusual. And you get the Blu-ray, and you also get, I imagine the Blu-ray's been remastered as well. And I think, like I say, the 88 version is really good. This is the alternative art. Actually, the other art in here is the art on the box. So I put this on, thinking that this movie is a very grotty movie in its content, and I thought it'll probably look quite good or quite average. Quite, middle of the road, I thought. This looks sensational. The colours in here are the star. When I put the original 88 one, which is good, the colours are alright. The colours on here are just I've never seen anything like it. The upgrade on the colours is worth getting this just for that. The cover on here is an amazing cover. This movie is a sick movie. There's no doubt about that. It's one of those ones where you can't believe it's come up in the UK uncut. Because if you were going through these movies, this would have been one where you said no chance. But I have heard that the Untold Story, which is another Category 3 movie, which I think he's in it. He might be. Is he called Anthony Lam? Anthony Wong? I think. Anthony Lau. I think. I'm getting confused at this point, but this movie looks absolutely sensational. And if you're a big fan of these Category 3 movies, this is definitely one to pick up. And the upgrade on the 88 movies is massive. Believe you me, it's absolutely massive. And if you're a fan of sick movies, this is one of them. Very highly recommended from me. Oh, wait to watch it. I think this might be the one I watch next. Anyway, so thanks once again, Phil, for hooking me up with these. I can't thank you enough. And these are just, I don't know how to describe them. I just think that they're just some of the best releases that I've ever come across. And if you're a fan of slipcovers, which I am, you will be blown away by these. So take care. Thanks for watching, especially you, Phil. And I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.